What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another morning after show. Tottenham 4, Sheffield United 0. Gareth Bell bagging a hat-trick. Heung-min Son getting a really good goal, really nice goal as well. So yeah, happy days. We've got smiles on our faces this morning. You're going to have an hour of waxing lyrical about Gareth Bell and the way Tottenham played yesterday. But ultimately, it's a game where everyone expected us to win. Is there too much that you can read into the performance and into the result against a team like Sheffield United? I'm not so sure. But the most important thing is just to keep going, keep winning the games that are coming. That was the first of our last 5 games. And now we move on to the Leeds game, Wolves game. I mean, we just got to keep it going, don't we?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. We got to make sure we end the season on a positive note, keep the wins going for the team, get Kane, Son and Bale on the pitch as much as possible together. That's the only way we're going to get some enjoyment from now to the end of the season. There is still an outside shot at top 4, however unlikely it is. But look, you can't read too much into how we played yesterday. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we were on the front foot. Now it's most fun I've seen us play in ages." All this kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't buy into that. I don't buy into all of that. I just think we played against a poor Sheffield United team. We played well, but I've seen us play well. Like, people act like we haven't had a single good performance this season. Not once have we played attacking football, and it's just not the case. And yeah, you could say, like, as a rule of thumb, we haven't been very attacking, and I can concur with that. But I've seen plenty of performances where we've attacked teams, we've got loads of goals, and we played attacking football.
I don't think it's that. I think that every time we've played attacking football this season, this has been the reaction of the fans. I don't think it's just this time.
No, but that's my point. People, like, I just see people saying, "Lord, what a difference from Mourinho," and these kind of things. Like, I just don't think it is. I just I think under Mourinho we could have easily won this game 4-0. Easily. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's a case of Mason's brought this attacking brand of football, and now that's why we're attacking teams. Like, against these kind of teams in general, I know we have a few games here and there against lower bottom half teams that we did struggle, but by and large we were pretty consistent and we were pretty attacking against them. We scored a lot of goals. So
do you think under Jose Mourinho, once we go 2-0 up, once we go 3-0 up, we're still going hell for leather and still trying to get more goals and more goals and more goals, or do you think we more to sit back?
Depends
to
on the game.
Try get that sit on that lead.
Depends on the game. As I said, against Palace and against Burnley we won 4-0 and 4-1. Against Southampton early in the season we won 5-2. Like, there have been certain games where we've gone and got more goals. I think in general we haven't, but there have been games where we have. So look, it's only 2 games for Mason. So I'm just saying it's hard to put too much emphasis on a performance like yesterday against a team already relegated. I just think I'm happy. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the way we played, no doubt about it. I'm just saying people need to calm down a bit in terms of how much of a difference it made having Mason instead of Mourinho there, in my opinion.
I think the difference for me on that pitch yesterday between Mason and Mourinho is that Mourinho wouldn't have played Bale. And that's
but he had played Bale.
Well,
in those kind of games.
After Arsenal, he dropped him. He didn't play him against Newcastle. He didn't play him hardly more than 5 minutes after that Arsenal game, and very harshly treated, very unfairly treated. And I would say that I don't think Jose would have played Bale in this game if he was still the manager. And he was the source of our goals yesterday, and he was the one that really opened them up and really provided those quality finishes yesterday.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he wouldn't play Bale, but I'm just saying, like, he has played Bale against other teams and gotten and Bale has scored 2 braces under Jose Mourinho in the league. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying.
Then he got outcasted.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not okay. I know, but I'm just saying, like, when he did put him in, he did score goals as well. So and they were also against the bottom of the table side. So it's hard to say. It's hard to argue like it's only because of Mason. Yeah, maybe it's only because of Mason Bale's on the pitch, but it's not. Is it like Mason unlocking Bale or anything like that? Like, just because he scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United.
I don't understand. Who's saying Mason masterclass here?
I've just things I've seen. Not Mason masterclass, but I've seen people saying, "Oh, it's such a difference," and like, "Oh, if it was under Mourinho, we would be 1-0 and then sitting back and we'll probably be struggling to win." I don't know. I need to calm down in terms of how much of a difference.
I don't know. I haven't seen much because I haven't really been on social media and stuff like that. So I've only got my own views to go on this game kind of thing.
Fine.
So I don't really know what other people are saying apart from what we spoke to fans on the fan show last night. I mean, that's the only thing I've got to go on, and I don't think anyone's going, from what I've seen anyway, I don't think it's been, it's a massive difference to playing the lower teams under Jose Mourinho. Look, I think you're right, that's not the case, but I haven't seen many people state that's the case, so I'm not really sure what to say on that one.
I'm just saying that's what I've seen. So that's all I want to say on that. But I was happy with the performance. Dele coming back in. I don't think he was a great performance, but I think he did work really hard. I will say that, and I think his actually best attributes were his off the ball play rather than his off the ball play. And I thought he got some vital interceptions. I thought for the fourth goal he was really much involved, and I thought he worked really, really hard, and I believe he got the third or second most tackles on the pitch as well, so that showed how hard he was working. It was nice to talk to him, but nice to hear Mason talk to him about how hard he worked in training for that week.
That's what I was saying to you during the game. I don't think Dele's having an overly good game, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing. That's what I was saying to you yesterday during the game.
Yeah. When he was on the ball, he just didn't look very sharp.
No, he didn't. But I thought that he was putting a lot of effort into that game yesterday.
He was putting a lot of effort.
And, that's definitely on the flip side to what we've seen to a lot of games this season.
Yeah, potentially. I remember there were other games against Fulham. I remember you
have slim pickings, but I think the majority of times he's played, I think has been lethargic performances from Dele, where I think yesterday and that Fulham game, he put in really good effort and really good will to win the ball back, energy in the middle of the park, stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a bit of that. I don't think it was that much, but there was a decent amount, and I think it was a positive display from Dele, but still, look, he has played so little football this season. It's hard to get that sharpness. So it's going to be so difficult to have that sharpness. There was a glimpse of it when he did a little nutmeg on one of the Sheffield United players, and he got round him and stuff
Fleck,
like that.
Wasn't it?
I think it was.
No,
Fleck.
Lo Celso did Fleck, did he?
Yeah, Lo Celso did Fleck. I can't remember who he did. It might have been Fleck as well. And then he also did a really nice pass into Aurier to set up the third goal. But I wonder if we'll see how much we'll see from now to the end of the season, if he'll be straight back in or not. It'll be interesting. But I think he did all right. But didn't grab the game by the scruff of the neck or anything. He had one shot, I think, the whole game, which was straight down the keeper's throat. Other than that, didn't really threaten to create or score, really, I felt yesterday, which was why I was a bit frustrated. But he did seem to be playing a bit of a deeper role than usual.
I think he moved deeper in the second half, didn't he?
Yeah, it was kind of, I think maybe we're playing him in that 4-3-3 rather than him behind the striker in a 4-2-3-1. Which is interesting.
Two players I want to talk about in Giovanni Lo Celso and Tanguy Ndombele. First of all, let's talk about Ndombele, because now it's two games now, not 1 minute. He came off with 20 minutes to go in the Southampton game and hasn't seen a minute since. What's your thinking behind Tanguy at the moment? Do you think he comes back into the side next game, or do you think he actually has a problem with Mason?
I don't know if he has a problem with him, but he's just choosing to pick Lo Celso and Højbjerg at the moment, and then he clearly
even Winks to come on.
Maybe he doesn't fancy. Yeah, it's also true. He's picking Winks to come on. Maybe he doesn't fancy Ndombele as in the double pivot. Maybe he's thinking that he doesn't have enough energy or work hard enough defensively to play that role. I would argue he does. I think a lot of the times this season, I guess it's all about consistency with Ndombele, because I think from a defensive point, I think on the ball, and and fitness wise and stuff like that, he was working very hard to build up that fitness so he can have an effect on over the 90 minutes. And I think on the ball he had done that, where he had grown in influence throughout the season, where even late in games he could be on the ball and he could be sharp and he could be creating things. But off the ball is a different matter. I still think he's found wanting quite a bit off the ball, and he's quite easy to get past. Not always.
He was going through a stage in the season. There was a stage where he was becoming this complete central midfielder. Off the ball he was great. On the ball he was great. And then it seemed to tail off again.
Yeah, I think it's all about consistency thing with Ndombele. I feel like again, it's like sometimes during a game he's just easy to get past, and sometimes he puts in those extra yards and he's very very difficult. And he tracks back and he has the energy about him.
Do you think it's a mentality issue?
Probably. Well, that's what Mourinho kept saying. He kept saying even as recently as a few weeks ago, didn't he? He gave that interview saying Ndombele, when it comes to on the ball, quality on the ball,
Best
chance
in Europe,
creation,
yeah.
dribbling, there's no one better than Ndombele. There's absolutely no one better. But when it comes to the mentality, when it comes to really giving your all for the team and all those kind of things, he hasn't been able to show he can give that extra bit, do those hard yards, give that extra bit for the team. And that's I guess maybe what Mason's thinking, where he's got Lo Celso and Højbjerg there, who I think Lo Celso off the ball is maybe a bit stronger than Ndombele potentially, maybe harder to get past. And then when you have those front players, it depends who you want. Do you want Ndombele there? Do you want Dele there? He's giving Dele a chance at the moment, so it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one as to why he's not picking Ndombele. But I'm just thinking maybe he's trying to tell Ndombele, you need to be working a bit harder for the team if you want to make it in. That's the only thing I can think, because we know how good he is. We know how much quality he has. He's got so much quality. In terms of ability, there's no one better in the squad than him. Literally no one. I can't think very few players better in the squad than Ndombele.
In the league, ability-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
In Europe, even.
I feel like Ndombele, I think his best position is in a 4-3-3. That's what I think. I think he needs two players next to him who are, obviously he needs to work hard, but I think you need two players next to him who are also going to be working very hard so they can cover any space that he does leave. And I do think that's why when he's in a double pivot, he can struggle a bit. I feel sometimes. I feel like he's got way too much space to cover for the amount of ground he's able to cover. And he's not like a Kante in that aspect where he can run all day and night. He's just not like that. So I feel like 4-3-3 is the way to go for Ndombele. But then that means you take away that cam position, so that maybe
if you have a Lo Celso and an Ndombele both playing like a box-to-box role kind of thing, then I don't think. Well, I think they can provide that creativity we need. They both have it in their lockers, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm just feeling Mason wanted someone who could be closer to goal, maybe with Dele.
In this game, in isolated game, I can understand it because it's a Sheffield United team. You know what you're going to get with Sheffield United. They're working hard, but we're going to have a lot of the ball. We're going to push them back. We're going to see a lot of possession. We're going to have a lot of attacking moves, and you'll want someone further up the pitch then. So I can understand why he played a 4-2-3-1 in this game. But I don't understand why Ndombele just didn't play any minute in the final. I still don't understand it.
I agree. And he didn't. But it's especially when late in the game, bring him on. Make an impact if you're not going to start him. And I can he didn't start him, I'm guessing, because he wanted Lo Celso, Winks and Højbjerg there to cover as much ground as possible, because they're much better at covering ground than Ndombele is. That's the only reason I can think. But seeing as we're 0-0, going to the late last half an hour, last 25 minutes of the game, if you get Ndombele on, you have a much better chance of grabbing a goal or grabbing something. And as well, he should have energy for 25 minutes to put himself about, rather than if you start him, you're against a team like City, you probably have to take him off after about an hour.
We've seen Ndombele strive against a City team. We've seen it before countless times. So look, it's one that didn't make sense to me. But Giovanni Lo Celso is an interesting one because he kind of splits opinion on fans at the moment, doesn't he? A lot of fans want him gone in the summer. Fans like us, I think, really believe in him and think he's a top quality player. Well, I do anyway. I can't speak for you, but I think you're of the similar thinking to me. Well, what is it with Giovanni Lo Celso? Because he hasn't had a great season, let's be honest. But when you look at the back end of last season, he was a top player. He was probably our best player in terms of creativity within the team. He was grabbing games by the scruff of the neck and taking the game to the opposition. What is it about Giovanni Lo Celso? Do you reckon it's just injuries that pampered him this season?
Injuries, that's definitely one of them, which has been a constant theme, unfortunately, since he's come to Tottenham. I think he needs a run of games. I think right at the moment we are seeing him get a run of games, and I think He is looking quite rusty, but as well he's doing some good things that get overlooked and don't get seen as much when he does them. For example, like against City, right? When that Højbjerg chance, like that was all creative because Ndombele did so much great work from deep. Yeah, not Ndombele, Lo Celso, because he did so much great work from deep. But when people, like for example, see a clip of that, or they see, or they analyse the game and stuff, that will be overlooked. Those stuff that aren't as easily analysed, aren't as easily seen by fans, and so the narrative that Ndombele, the narrative that
you wanted Ndombele to play that final so badly.
The narrative that Lo Celso is anonymous and he doesn't do anything good, and how many goals and assists he got? Nothing. He's rubbish. Get rid of him. It's so easy to put that narrative forward when people don't realise so much good work he does. I'm not saying he does this season. He's been amazing. He's done so much great work. I'm just saying sometimes the great work he does doesn't get seen. And it's easy to pass it by.
Well, look, we're getting comments here, and TJR says Lo Celso's passing ability is questionable. Abhishek Sharma says Lo Celso was horrible, to be honest.
He didn't have the best.
He didn't have a good game yesterday.
He didn't have the best game yesterday.
But moments like that you're talking about in that Man City game when he gets it on the turn and plays a lovely ball and stuff like that, it's too few and far between this season. I mean, it's only like small incidents in games. I mean, he would go missing for the majority of games this season and then produce something like that on an odd occasion. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's not like last season when he's doing stuff time and time again, winning the ball back, grabbing the ball, grabbing the game.
Yeah, but that all comes with you. Like it all comes once he has that run of games.
Rhythm.
A bit of a rhythm. That all comes. I can see the glimpses are there. He's waiting to burst out. I can even see it yesterday. I can see it a few times. Yes, he miscontrolled the ball, misplaced the pass. He did, and he didn't have a great game yesterday. But I can see it in him. I can definitely see it in him that he's just waiting to get that rhythm back, and he's waiting to get because the way he plays, he can be a magician in that centre. Yeah. He can be the best. He can be that best centre mid we've had since Modric. We said that last year, and I really believe he's not as good as Modric or by any stretch, but he can be that kind of deep lying playmaker for us for sure. People say his passing range is questionable. I think he's got a very good passing range, and you'll see that once I'm hoping you'll see that in the last 5 games of the season or 4 games of the season. But I think it's underrated, his passing range. He's got a very good pass on him, and it can be very lethal at times. It's not very penetrative, or hasn't been, but it's very good at setting up very good situations. I've seen that time and time again from Lo Celso.
At Betis, he was known for great through passes, great assists, and goals as well.
Well, he played a lot further forward.
Yeah, that's what he was known for at Betis.
Yeah. He was playing behind the striker then. He was playing in the cam role. He hasn't really had that role at Spurs. But
having said that, it's easier to create in Spain than it is in England.
And also, a lot of the goals he scored were in Europa League and stuff like that. Not to devalue them, I'm just saying that it wasn't all like. I think he scored 16 goals that season. I think 8 of them, or 7 of them, were in Europa League. So, I think this guy's got bags of quality. It would be stupid to sell him in the summer or get rid of him.
Agree.
I think, I think he was also versatile. I think he can play in a couple positions. Although I'd much rather in the centre than anywhere else.
Don't put him out on the right.
I really value him as a player. I think people who don't rate him maybe overlooking how good he can be or the value he can bring to the team. There's a reason Mason's picking him at the moment. Mourinho as well sung his praises when he was manager, saying he wouldn't even. There's no one in the Premier League. He was top for Lo Celso at times.
Yeah, he was actually comparing him to Bruno Fernandes at the time. I think I might prefer Bruno Fernandes to Lo Celso right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And look, I can't say that because Bruno's just he's a goal involvement machine at the moment. Yeah. Lo Celso's a different kind of player, but I think if it would be one if we were to get rid, we would regret it massively.
Am I right in saying I don't have the stats in my head or in front of me here, but am I right in saying that his goal and assists ratio is like much higher than it was last season?
It is, but I think that's more again Europa League. He's got a lot of them in Europa League and stuff. I think in the Premier League this season, I can't think of too many. He got a goal against City.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many other goals or assists he's been getting. to be honest. And he got an assist against Liverpool at Anfield. That was a great assist as well.
It's a big game player.
Yeah, he has. Look, he's a quality player, man. He's a quality when he's on top of his game and he's fit and he's in a rhythm, mate. He is a quality player.
To all these people that are like, oh, let's get rid of Lo Celso, he doesn't do much. I mean, we've got so much more pressing issues in our squad than getting rid of Giovanni Lo Celso now.
Honestly, he's the last person we should be thinking of getting rid of.
Yeah, maybe not the last, but he's definitely one of the last. But I think that Giovanni, we need to be patient with him because I think there's a top player in there, and I really don't think that we should sell him. And I think if we do sell him, I think we'll be eating our words a bit.
Agreed.
We got a super chat here from Luke Diamond saying Lo Celso has been getting really harsh feedback online. People forget how influential he was first 10-11 games of the season pre-injury. He was excellent, and not just first 10 games, but last 10 games of last season as well.
Yeah, this season I know he had an injury at the back end of last season, didn't he? And he didn't start the season, did he? Against
Everton.
I don't think he did. It was Højbjerg Winks, wasn't it, with Delhi? But he
come on. I'm not sure.
He played. I remember against Newcastle. He played. I thought he was brilliant that day. And he had a few really good performances early on in the season. I remember he was playing mostly in Europa League because he was getting back to fully fitness and stuff. But when he was rotating with Ndombele in that CAM role in that period in November, December, he was really good. He was really good up until he got that injury against Leicester in January. So I do think that's a good point by Luke. I think even this season we've seen some good performances, but injuries have hampered him. No doubt about it, injuries have hampered him. And I think people, and I would say unfairly, because we've had Lamela, who's literally had chronic issues for 8 years. I think people associate the two, and people get worried we've just got another Lamela on our hands. And look, the truth is, we might do. I don't know. Maybe we do. But I think it's hard.
Remember, we had this conversation about a year ago, and I was telling you I'm worried about Lo Celso's injury problems.
Yeah.
And and it couldn't have gone much worse for him in terms of injuries since then.
It is. Look, that's how it's been, but doesn't mean it is how it will be. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think it's harsh. I think it's like the fan base have PTSD with Lamela at the moment, and we're just wary of anyone who has a few injuries. I think
it's all come from Darren Anderton.
Yeah, it probably has. But I think we're just wary of anyone who has too many injuries, aren't we, as a fan base? Because we've seen it before so many times, and I think.
And as well with Gareth Bale in the squad as well.
Exactly, and then so Lo Celso just gets painted with that brush, and I think it is a bit unfair. I know he's had a few injuries, but I think it is a bit unfair just to write him off because he's had a few injuries.
Yeah,
and I think we should just give him a chance. And I think he's got so much ability that it would be stupid to chuck him away because we're worried that because he had a few injuries, he's just going to be an injury-prone player.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And you got to remember before lockdown last season, when Sonny was injured, when Kane was injured, he was the only one stepping up for us.
And he was brilliant. At times, he was literally carrying the team, and he was the only one showing any quality. Even remember against Leipzig, we were so bad that game, the home leg where we lost 1-0. We were awful. We didn't do a thing. But the only player who actually got the ball, dribbled past a few players, and he and actually tried to create things was Lo Celso. And I remember he hit a post from the free kick. He was like a one-man band at times
for a few games.
Lo Celso. So he really was. When he came on against Burnley, like everyone was shit, but he was the only one being great. Yeah. Like he can be a really, really top player, and he can be a leader in this team if given a chance. So I think people just need to be patient with him.
Completely agree. Let me just tell you how the rest of this stream is going to work. We're going to go through Ryan Mason's press conference. It's only a 5-minute press conference, and we'll play it for you guys and react to it. Then we're going to go and take a look at the papers and look at what the headlines are saying. Obviously, they're dominated by Manchester United fans yesterday, so we'll touch on that as well. And yeah, let's get into the press conference. And also, everyone just scroll down and smash that like button. If you do want your comment to be seen, if you do want us to react to your comment, we're not going to be looking at Twitter today because of the blackout. So send it in a super chat or write a comment, and we'll try and get to it.
All right, let's
go to the press conference though.
They can't hear it either. One sec.
One second, we'll try to just bring some sound to you. Joe? Joe.
All right, we'll try and get that working for you guys. Sorry about that. Sound didn't seem to be coming through. But
Try it, unplug it, plug it back in.
got the phone.
Yeah. Same thing that it like it doesn't sound working to me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. One sec, guys.
Just keep talking, go for a headline.
All right, let's take a look at the papers while we are waiting for the audio to work. Man United making the front page yesterday in terms of their making the front pages in terms of their protest yesterday on the pitch was absolutely unbelievable, really, what happened yesterday at Old Trafford. Unprecedented scenes. Some people are angry with what happened. Some people are proud. A lot of Man United fans are proud of what happened and how they protested yesterday. But there was someone who got hurt, and there were a few idiots who do take it too far. And I was interested to see what people thought about how Man United fans conducted themselves yesterday. And what was it too far, or was it right what they did? I mean, I'm glad for the Man United fans that they got their voice heard. I think it was important that they did, but I'm not sure when someone gets hurt like that, then it devalues the whole message. And I think that is part of what happened yesterday. Let's get the game out. Is it working?
Yeah, we're just going to do it on the back end instead of through your phone. In terms of the Man United protest yesterday, it seemed as though it was all going according to plan and like peaceful protest, done in the right way. And then it seemed as though the fans just got a bit too ahead of themselves, and maybe a few too many pints were poured down their throats and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think...
Because it seemed as though like it was going the right way all until it just turned a bit sour.
Yeah, I think maybe some fans got a bit too overexcited about the situation and and decided to go a bit too far. And I think that's always going to happen when you got thousands of fans there or whatnot protesting. A few idiots are always going to do that, and I think that shouldn't override what was in majority was a peaceful protest. There wasn't like there were children there, there were family. I saw like there were mothers and stuff there. Like, no, it wasn't an aggressive event. It wasn't.
It turned aggressive
a bit. Not. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say
there was
it turned
fighting
aggressive.
with the police.
Yeah, the police came in quite heavy-handed, and then there was some pushback.
Do you reckon that was on the police then?
Don't know. I don't know. I don't have the context of the whole situation. But from what I saw, I didn't see it turn like. I haven't seen the videos. I've seen a couple of videos of the police and the fans altercation. It just seemed the police came in and tried to keep them back as much as possible, and they were trying to be a bit heavy-handed to make sure the Man United fans stay back. And I'm not saying whether I agree with that or not. I'm just saying that's more what happened. But I wouldn't say. It didn't seem like like people being aggressive or anything. I know there were flares and stuff, but they seem like to be having.
I don't consider flares
peaceful
as being an aggressive protest. I don't think there's anything wrong with flares. I mean, I think that's fine. I think when people get hurt, that's where you need to draw the line.
Yeah, and I don't know how steward got hurt.
I think when people get hurt and when it turns violent. Like you said yesterday, it dilutes the message of the protest.
It does,
and it completely overshadows everything that everyone's trying to prove.
I completely agree, and I don't know what happened with the steward yesterday, how he got hurt or anything. I don't know how it happened.
Probably something was thrown and it hit him by mistake or something.
I don't know. I've got no idea. But if if it was with an altercation with a protester, then that's completely unacceptable, and the whole thing has to be looked at in a different light when that kind of stuff happened. But I don't know the whole situation. I don't know the whole situation about how that guy got hurt.
This is football fans against football owners, not football fans against stewards or football fans against police. You know what I mean? This is football fans against owners, and the owners aren't even in the country. So what right is it to get violent? You know what I mean? There's just no need for it whatsoever.
I absolutely agree. But I think by and large, it was just a couple of idiots in what was large majority peaceful.
The headlines are always going to be overthrown by these kind of things, aren't they?
Of course they are. That's what people latch onto. Then a lot of the press will want to latch onto it and say, look how bad these fans are. They're hooligans. They're thugs. That's all that kind of stuff. Where I don't think it was the case for all of pretty much all of them. They're not thuggish. They're not anything like that. I think they're in general just football fans trying to have their voices heard, and that's all it is. And I think a lot of the media can go overboard about condemning them and all that kind of stuff. But I think Man United fans got their voices heard loud and clear yesterday.
All right, shall we? Is the press conference ready now? All right, let's go.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Welcome to our post-match press conference against Sheffield United. As always, please raise your hand. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We'll start with Jim Conlon from RCB Sports Ireland. Jim.
Hi, Ryan. Ryan, is that reminded all the Tottenham Hotspur fans today what Gareth Bale is capable of? And did we see the Gareth Bale that we saw the first time that he was with Tottenham Hotspur? Is that his best performance this season in a Tottenham Hotspur jersey?
I thought he was outstanding. His goals were world class. No one should have doubted that ability that he has in the final third, because he's proved over a number of years that he's one of the best in the world in those moments. And very pleased with him tonight, because I thought his performance was excellent as well. He showed real commitment. He fought for the team, and the moments he produced were outstanding.
Okay, Ali Gold.
Congratulations, Ryan. Was this more of a Ryan Mason Tottenham Hotspur tonight? I mean, the team was pressing, there was energy, and the fullbacks bombing on as well.
I thought it was an outstanding performance. We've had a week with the group to work. We've been able to train them hard and try and instill some principles. Stuff like that takes a lot of time. But the most important thing for me tonight was the attitude. From minute 1 to 95, the desire to compete, to run, to fight. It was really, really good. And then you pair that up with the moments of brilliance we had as well, individually and also as a team. It was a real pleasing night.
Can I just ask you very quickly about Serge Aurier? I think that was only his second and third assists of the season, which you'd think would be unusual for him. Why do you think he hasn't quite had that impact in the final third until tonight?
I think the most important thing when you're a defender is to defend. That's the priority. He'd done that tonight, along with the rest of the defence. I think that's 11 clean sheets in the Premier League this season now. So that's good. That's positive. Serge is fasting as well. So I think it makes that performance even more impressive, because he hasn't been able to eat all day. And to put in a 90 minutes like that is outstanding.
Gary Cottrell.
Ryan, thank you, Tom. Another one about Gareth. He just said in his post-match interview that he's happy. He's certainly playing like he's happy. I know it's not your decision, but as somebody who loves the club, how much would you like to see him stay beyond the summer?
I think that's probably a conversation at the end of the season between Gareth, the club, and his parent club as well. Our main focus and our main priority is the next game. It sounds a bit of a cliche, but it's so true. I'm really happy that Gareth's happy. He should be, because he's got another match ball to add to the collection. And it was an excellent performance as well.
But if he can play like that and be happy playing, then it makes maybe persuading him to want to stay that much easier for whoever has to have that discussion with him, doesn't it?
I think the decision at the moment and the priority is making sure Gareth's ready to train. He's happy in training. We've got another big week of training, because we've got a massive game next week. And hopefully we get a happy Gareth next weekend as well.
Thank you.
Jonathan Veal.
It wasn't crucial to the outcome of the game, but there was a controversial VAR decision sort of early in the second half. Do you think Sheffield United should have been down to 10 men?
Absolutely. It's a red card, no doubt whatsoever.
Do you understand why the referee wasn't even asked to sort of have a look at it on the side of the pitch?
No, I'm a bit confused. I'm shocked as well. First of all, I'm shocked the referee is sitting in the room, having the opportunity to look at that video once should have been enough. But then also I'm even more shocked that he hasn't told the referee to go and have a look at it as well, because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that's a red card. What with some of the red cards we've seen in recent weeks as well, it makes it even more shocking.
And you're 5 points off top four now, 4 games in hand. Are you starting to believe that you could overhaul Chelsea or Leicester?
Now, honestly, we're not thinking about that. We know that we've got 4 massive games, some real huge games. It's difficult to win games in the Premier League. We've seen that over the course of the season for many different teams. Tonight was important for us. It was a massive game. And this week is a massive week for us. Next weekend is a huge game as well. So that's our priority. That's what we're looking to. We'd be very silly as a group to start looking ahead, because next weekend is going to be a tough match and we need to go there fully prepared.
Okay, guys, that'll do. Thank you very much.
An exciting Ryan Mason press conference as ever.
It's all about next game. It's all about next game. Massive game against Leeds. Is Bale staying next season? Well, he's definitely going to be staying for the Leeds game. That's for sure. That's what we've got to make sure.
In terms of Gareth Bale, a lot of people are saying, he doesn't do it against the big teams, doesn't do it against the big teams. Well, let's have a look at it. Let's delve a bit deeper into it, because since the Marine game, he was injured for the Brentford game, so he came back in for the Marine game, played 25 minutes. Next big game after that was Liverpool, played 10 minutes at the end after we were getting battered that game. For the Chelsea game, didn't play 1 minute. Man City game, this is when his form started to pick up, played the last 20 minutes, and I thought he played a good 20 minutes that game against the Man City side. The next big game after that was West Ham, when he played in 45 minutes, which I thought he played very well that game. And then the next big game after that was Arsenal, where he started the game, got hauled off after 56 minutes in a dreadful performance, and rightly so, he gets pulled off. The next big game after that was the Dinamo Zagreb second leg, which he was probably the only player on that pitch looking to make something happen. And then he gets outcasted from the team. Only under Jose Mourinho, only seeing maximum of 5 to 10 minutes in a game. Man United, when we lost, he saw 9 minutes at the end of that game. Man City in the cup final saw 20 minutes at the end of that game. So has he had a fair crack at the whip in the big games this season?
In the games against teams in the top half? No, he hasn't, has he? How many starts has he had? 1.
Yeah, 1.
1 start. So clearly not. Clearly not. So I think it's harsh to say that he can't do it in the big games when he has he's had that many starts. That obviously you could say whether there's a reason or not he hasn't been able to play in those games remains to be seen. But the fact of the matter is, you can't say he can't do it when he hasn't had a chance to show it, can you? So I think it's definitely been harsh on Bale this season. The amount of game time he's seen, we definitely should have been seeing him a lot, especially the fact that when we have seen him, by and large, in the Premier League, when he has started games, apart from obviously when it was against West Brom and Brighton, his first 2 starts where he was pretty woeful, but since then, he's been pretty good.
He's been pretty good when he's 9 goals with the amount of minutes he's played. You can't knock it, can you?
In all competitions, what was it, 12 in
Something
all competitions. So, it's a pretty good return, and clearly when he's been on the pitch, he's been able to make an impact. And, you also think of a few chances he missed, like against, West Ham in the 3-3 and against Man City and a few other chances. Like, this guy clearly still has ability. He still has all the ability in the world. He clearly has pace about him as well. He's definitely not slow, that's for sure. He's definitely not slow. So I think he's worth keeping. He's worth sticking around, because where you're going to find that quality, you could definitely find a fresher player, a younger player who with more ability to grow and stuff like that, and maybe this player you find might be better pressing from the front and stuff like that. But you will not find a player in Europe with the quality Bale has right now.
Well,
you won't be able to.
Respond to this comment from Shepherd and Longview. Bale isn't worth the risk, costs too much, and is a novelty signing. He exposes that left back, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's just Sheffield. And I completely disagree with that. I think he is worth the risk. With the amount of quality he has, he's worth the risk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he scored level goals with Raheem Sterling this season. He's scored more goals than a lot of good players this season.
1 goal behind Rashford.
1 goal behind. You know what I mean? So, like, this guy has top quality, world-class quality about him. And even if he doesn't play in the big games, to have him for the games against the bottom half teams, come on, man. He can score goals in those games, as we've seen this season.
We need him for those games, because it's not like we win every single one of them, is it? So we definitely need him for those games. And I think Bale is definitely worth having around. I think that quality in the final third, him on his left foot when he gets a shot off, it's invaluable, absolutely invaluable. I can't think of many players who have that ability. And yeah, like, maybe this season hasn't gone as we had hoped, but I still think he's shown enough this season to tell me that he has more than enough to give. He has more than enough quality. And look, 220 grand a week. Yes, he's very expensive. He'll be our highest paid player in the squad by 20 grand more than Kane. But no transfer fee involved. He can come on we'll have to look at the end of next season. We can maybe come on a free. We'll have to wait and see what the future brings there. But just in terms of next season, 220 grand a week. So I like, if you sign a player, if we say no to Bale and we need to sign a replacement, like that's you're looking at 40-50 million. So anywhere near Bale's quality, someone anywhere near Bale's quality, you're looking at 40-50 million, and plus probably like 100 grand a week or something. So that's how much someone of Bale's ability would cost you in this day and age.
For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. As someone just said in the comments there, Stephen Calcutt, saying Bale is world-class, no-brainer. Like, I completely agree with that. And I don't see a reason why to get rid of Gareth Bale and send him back to Real Madrid this summer. I just don't see a reason.
If he's happy to stay and we're happy to keep him, we're prepared to pay the money, I'll keep him for sure. I'll keep him. I think he has shown. I just think he's shown enough quality even in the short games he's played. Unfortunately, he hasn't played as much as we would like. And look, we don't really know the reason. Is it Mourinho shunting him out? Was it a fitness issue? We're never going to know. But all I'm saying is, when we've seen him on the pitch, even against Burnley and against Palace and against yesterday against Sheffield United and other games, he has shown what the quality is there. The fitness, his body still has it. Yesterday he ran from the halfway line, bursting past
rolling
the player.
Back the years, that goal, it was very reminiscent of his goals against Norwich and goals like that. You know,
the guy never got near him. Whoever the defender nearest him, and he got the shot off with a lot of composure right in the top corner. Like, he has more than enough ability to be playing at this level. The only worry I would have is if we do sign him and he does start having injuries again. That would be the worry. But I think at the moment he's in a good way. Yeah, he's happy. He looks good. He looks confident at the moment. Maybe it took a while for him to get that confidence, but he looks confident, and I think he's definitely worth having around.
Yeah. Let's have a look to finish off the show. Let's look at the headlines. What's this one? This is the Times, and they say Bale keeps European door open. Yesterday's hat-trick was Gareth Bale's second in the Premier League. His first was in December 2012 against Aston Villa. What was the score of that game?
4-0.
4-0. Is that when Van der Vaart... No, that's not that game.
No, Defoe scored the other one.
Right.
I think it was in the Christmas period, yeah. And you can see that picture there as well. If you could... that picture there on the Lo Celso getting stamped. That was the picture there. That was what happened with Giovanni Lo Celso yesterday. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. One sec. Just so people have a better idea. That was the red card that wasn't given, unbelievably, I thought. How that wasn't a red card, I will never know. Ryan Mason mentioning it in his press conference that he thought that should have been a no-brainer. And I completely agree. How... the VAR didn't even go and look at it.
Slav was on about last night. He was like, no, never a red card.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what people don't think it's a red card. I mean, it's only not a red card It's only not a red card if you're saying that intent matters, and if your intent wasn't to hurt the player.
Intent hasn't mattered the whole season.
Exactly, and all of a sudden it matters. I don't understand. Either intent matters or it doesn't. And yesterday, the guy stamped on his head, man, and also for me, that was completely avoidable. It was. I've seen it again a few times. It wasn't like he had nowhere else to put his leg. That situation was so avoidable. He could have avoided Lo Celso's leg. He decided to be reckless. He planted his foot right on his face with his stud scraping across his face. I mean, that was for sure a red card. No brainer for me. Absolutely no brainer. I thought it was a shocker from VAR. Absolute shocker. I don't know how VAR looked at that and thought there was nothing to see here. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
And he was looking at him the whole time. It's not like he didn't know he was there. He was literally looking at him the whole time.
He had a little smirk about him when after the challenge as well. You could see.
Did he?
Yeah. Disgusting. Could have really hurt. Could have really badly.
If it catches him in the eye, that's potentially his career over. Literally.
Yeah. That was really bad. Really bad.
This next one is from The Guardian. More about Gareth Bale. Bale fires a hat-trick to keep Europe in sight. That's from The Guardian. Let's have a look there.
One sec. It's all right.
And in this side of the paper, it's Line of Duty. I mean, how poor was that last
I didn't
night?
watch it, actually. I haven't watched it yet. I've unfortunately...
Do you know who H is?
Yeah, I do. And I'm quite underwhelmed. I can understand why people said it was bad.
Was
it actually a bad episode, or just people unhappy with who H was?
I think a bit of both, to be fair.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Was it boring?
I fell asleep.
Oh, there you go. Before you found out who H was? Or?
Literally, as they were revealing H, I literally fell asleep. But it was obvious who H was, to be honest.
Was it?
Well, you'll see as the episode plays out.
Right. Okay. But anyway.
Just more about the protests in Manchester.
Do you reckon there's any chance Spurs fans can get in the stadium on the 15th of May?
No chance.
No chance. Well, our security is different kettle of fish to
Did you
Man
see?
United.
I don't know if you saw that meme. It was like a lock with like a Cheeto in the thing.
No, I saw one. It was like Man United's security when Man United fans are trying to get in, and it was just a picture of the Tottenham back four.
So let's see what we got here. Okay. So we are looking at the Daily Fail now. Obviously, that's the front page.
Oh, God. Carnage, chaos, confusion.
I haven't seen that video. It's just literally just completely dominated by Manchester United. But here's more about Gareth Bale. Do you want to read out that super chat?
Yeah. So from Dark Sun G21 says apparently the VAR referee was the same one when the West Ham player got a red card against Chelsea recently. The red card in a match, in the match swapped. Yeah, that was never a red. And he told the referee to go and have a look at it. And then this one, he sees someone stamp on someone's face. And he says, "Now play on, nothing to see here."
Ridiculous.
VAR it's not the technology, man. It's these people running it. They have no clue. Yeah. They are so incompetent. It's unbelievable. I can't believe some of the decisions they've made this season. It's just, how can you get something so wrong after looking at it so many times? I just don't understand.
That was Bale's 50th goal in the Premier League yesterday. 51 goals now.
There you go. Fair play.
He's halfway to Ryan Giggs now. Bale's treble routs Blades. Gareth Bale scored his 51st Premier League goals, 38 of them with his left foot, 6 with his right foot, 6 with his head, and 1 with his shoulder. 12 has been outside the box. I mean, brilliant finishes from Bale yesterday, weren't they?
Each and every one of them showing off a different way of finishing, and they're all quality. They're all absolute quality. The way he just stroked that third one home as well with so much power low into the corner. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
This is interesting. Team of the week.
Who's in it?
Bale's in it, but Reguilon's in it.
Really? Well, let's talk about other one player who we probably talk about is Aurier, because he got 2 assists yesterday.
Two?
Two.
Was it 2? I thought it was 1.
He got 2 assists. Well, for
the first one,
first
the
and
dink
third.
over the top was brilliant.
And then the
What's
one
he doing in that position, by the way?
Who, Aurier?
Yeah.
Well, he was
like
pushed
centrally, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was pushed very far forward. I think it might have been off the back of was it off the back of a set piece? I can't remember now, but maybe not. But I thought it was a brilliant piece of play, inch perfect dink for Bale, and it was a great, it was a really good assist I thought for the third goal as well. Waiting for Bale to move into space and swearing it to him and allowing Bale to strike it home first time. So a really good piece of play by Aurier. And apparently it's only his second and third assist of the season, who for someone who got I think 6 or 7 last season assists. Yeah. So whether he's been hampered,
he's trying to outdo Matt Doherty.
That's for sure. And I thought it was positive. Obviously, Aurier is just one of those players you just. Can you ever really trust on him? I don't know, but I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I thought he was brilliant, and I thought he deserves praise for that performance. Oh, we got Thogden in the chat. Big up, Thogden. How we do? We're doing all right,
Thogden.
mate.
What are you saying, mate?
We're doing all right. How's Bolton going? I'd like to know. Don't really follow that challenge.
Thogden and Thogdad saved football.
They did. They were part of it. Exactly. Big up Thogden and Thogdad. Love that. Love that.
What do you reckon about this? Levy, I know what you're going to reckon about this. Levy may have to appoint small to achieve big, and there's a picture of Graham Potter.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because people are saying, I think we're all blinded sometimes by wanting a big name manager, wanting someone who's been there, done it, like Mourinho, I'd say, by some extent and stuff like that. But you got to realise any manager we get is just going to be hamstrung by Levy. It's just going to be under his under his thumb, basically. So I just got to say,
Thogden says Bale is different gravy.
Oh, well, if Thogden says so, we've got to sign him up for next season. Send that to Levy. That'll definitely convince him. But what I would say is...
and thank you, Marcelo, for all the modding today. He's got to go to work now, so peace out,
I love it, Marcelo. Big up, Marcelo.
Go on, as you were.
What I would say is I think that's why I'm leaning towards someone who just has a philosophy and a coach who just has a way of playing, which is attacking, which he can instill in the squad, because I feel which we don't need that as much money to improve as if we had a big name manager. We'd need to invest a lot of money in the squad and getting all these great quality players. I think if we get someone like Graham Potter, who has a set way of playing, who has a system which even with Brighton he can get them playing good football, that could be the best way to go. That's why I feel that we don't need a big name manager right now. We need someone with a philosophy who could have us playing good attacking football and get us playing with a system closer to goal, so we can get people like Bale and people like that involved. And maybe if we sign Potter, he could bring Basuma with him, and that could be a good addition to the squad.
How much do you reckon he costs?
30 million maybe.
You reckon that much? I mean, that cheap?
30, 35, 40. Between 30 and 40.
Let's look at the last paper of the day, which is the Daily Mirror. Back pages is saying anarchy at Old Trafford. I mean, the scenes yesterday at Old Trafford were mental, weren't it?
The scenes at Old Trafford.
Just all these pictures. I mean, they're a sight, aren't they?
Yeah, mad. It's unprecedented what happened yesterday. Absolutely unprecedented. But it's interesting. Well, Souness yesterday said. They weren't doing that when they weren't complaining when they were winning titles, and now they're complaining. But I remember they definitely were complaining when they were winning titles.
Green and gold till we're sold.
Yeah. Where was that? Beckham was wearing it. Well, how long ago was that? That was ages ago. No, that was when they were winning titles and stuff.
Yeah,
that's when they were a big team. So
no, the Glazers. How long have the Glazers owned Man United for?
They've owned United since 2005.
There's been protests since they've come in.
Yeah, literally
since they've come in.
It's only really now they've
since the Super League it's heightened it all.
Yeah,
for sure.
People got to also realise the Super League is like how bad it was. Like you can have complaints about how your owners have been at your club and all that kind of stuff, but the Super League alone is bad enough to want an ownership gone. Just the Super League alone is bad enough. So anything on top of that is just a bonus, in my opinion. In terms of why you would want the owners at your club. I think that Super League was so horrific, and it could have been so damaging to the whole footballing pyramid and the whole structure that's been built. It would be basically the end of it. It would ruin everyone.
Everything.
So I think that's bad enough, and people got to take that even in isolation. Say that can't be forgiven doing that, because we saw what that was.
Cody Mack in the chat here. He says the ESL was straight treason.
Definitely,
and I can't agree more.
And Thogden saying Basuma probably about 50 million because of United talks.
That's what I thought.
50, maybe 50. I don't know how. Maybe has he got how much? How long has he got on his contract, Basuma? I think if I remember rightly, he signed one fairly recently. I think so. Let's see how long he's got on his contract. 24 years old, Mali international. He 2023. So 2 years. 2 years come summer.
Same as Sonny.
All right. So. I mean, yeah, it would be expensive, but I think
this is the last summer that you're going to get a big price for him.
I think
if he doesn't sign,
I think we could get him. I reckon if we brought in Potter and we could maybe convince him to come along with, he would be a great signing. Him, Basuma, Højbjerg, and Ndombele and Lo Celso. It's good choice.
We've got Skippy coming back as well.
Skippy
and talking about Skippy, that's something we haven't mentioned on the stream today.
That is true.
So big up Skippy and Norwich for getting their promotion this weekend. The picture here with Skip on crutches with a protective boot on. Let's see if I can show this to you. So if you can see there, just by the text saying Canary Highlands, that's Skippy with crutches.
You hear apparently Tim Krul was leading the chant saying, Oliver Skip, we want you to stay.
I heard that.
We want you to stay. Which was nice to hear.
Because that's at that moment you can see they're all pointing to him.
They're all pointing to Skip, who's obviously
and
had a great season.
This guy's bowing down to him, so like...
Look, clearly he's made a massive impact. He has made an absolutely massive impact in Norwich this season. And week after week we've seen it, and it's also nice to see the players also acknowledging how good he's been as well as the fans.
Yeah.
And it just shows what an impact he's made.
Maybe we don't need Basuma then.
Hopefully he's hopefully he's not too badly hurt. That's the only one I'm worried about. Hopefully he's okay.
And then this is the last one regarding Spurs and Gareth Bale. One more time. That's special 1, 2, 3. Bale hits a hat-trick as well. Superstar rolls back the years in route. They must have been watching our stream last night because I kept mentioning that.
Definitely.
Well, there you go. It just brings me so much joy to see Gareth Bale.
It does every time, even now. Gareth Bale, he still has it. People saying he's finished. He's just here for a gym membership or whatever they say. I still think he's got so much quality to give, and people write him off too quickly and think he's finished and stuff, but he's so good. He is so good. What?
Cody Mack says, Ben, you can see that name pronunciation runs in the family after Grandpa's Hobberjudge yesterday.
Why? Who do we pronounce wrong?
I don't know. Apparently I pronounce and butcher names all day long. So
apparently there's an interesting quote here from Martin Yole we could probably read out.
Go on.
He's talking about the Spurs fans, and he says, of course I love them back, and he was asking if he said he was asked, the Spurs fans love you, do you love them back? And he says, of course I love them back. It's genuine. Wherever I went, they've always been behind me all the time. Even in my last game, people say I didn't know, but of course I knew. I had tears in my eyes because of the fans.
Well, we could be getting an exclusive for you very soon on We Are Tottenham TV
definitely.
about that, so keep your eyes peeled.
Looking forward to getting Martin Yole on the
channel.
channel.
I mean, Martin Yole, I think he was the actual man. I think that's when I proper fell in love with Tottenham under Martin Yole. I mean, I loved Tottenham before that, and I was a big Tottenham fan before that, but I think when Martin Yole first came to the club, that's when I first proper got stuck into Spurs, going home and away every single game, you know what I mean? And I think that's the kind of moment that kind of flipped it for me. It was like we're actually turning into a proper side here.
Yeah, we were. I was quite fairly young then, but back in 2005, that's when we actually built a young team that was starting to challenge near the top end of the table and getting European players. And to be fair, pretty much ever since then, we've been outside the top 6 since then.
This season.
We're
5th now.
Yeah, we're 5th. So, I think. When we won the Carling Cup, we finished 11th. So it was that season, and then the next season we finished 8th. Since 2005, that's 16 years, we've had 2 seasons outside the top 6. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good in terms of league results, and it all started because of Martin Yole.
Cody Mack saying, boys, where do you back us to finish in the table?
Well, talking about potential top 4. This thing has been doing the rounds. Where is it? Let's see. Get up. In terms of how we can get top 4 in our own hands. Is it this guy who's basically if so, which it doesn't like. It's unlikely, but there's a lot of ifs, right? But it's not that beyond the realms of possibility. It obviously requires us to concentrate on ourselves and win our games. But it says if Leicester fail to beat Man United at Old Trafford, so a draw or lose,
next game?
That's is that their next game, or it's one of their next game is Newcastle, then United, I think. So if Leicester don't beat Man United, Chelsea lose to Man City, and Spurs beat Leeds, Wolves, and Villa, then top four's in our hands.
Big ask then.
It's a big ask. It is a big ask. It is, but the first two things are not big. Just us. We're the big ask.
I mean, I think it's all a big ask. I mean, you need 5 things to go your way.
It's not all a big ask. Leicester not beating Man United is not that big of an ask. Chelsea losing to Man City, is that big of an ask?
Not losing.
No, Chelsea losing to Man City.
They have to lose, so a draw's not good enough.
Chelsea losing to a draw's not good enough. I'm not sure. It says Chelsea losing here.
If it's a draw, Man City only need 1 point for the title, and that's their next game. So I can actually see a draw happening in that game. And
because Chelsea play Leicester, and then Spurs play Leicester, so come the last match, Spurs will have the top 4 in their hands if those two things happen.
Throughout my whole life of being a Spurs fan, I've just been hearing these ifs and buts every year when it comes to around this time of the season, and it never usually comes through for us. So, I mean...
But are those things that unlikely?
I think when you take them all as an isolated thing, they're not unlikely, but putting them all together like an accumulator, it is a bit unlikely.
If Spurs just concentrate on themselves, they beat Leeds, Wolves and Villa, if we really concentrate so hard and win those next 3 games, could the other things fall into place?
Put all 5 of them in an accumulator and see what odds you get.
What, you Man United win or draw, City to win, and Spurs to beat Leeds, Wolves and Villa?
Yeah. Put it all in an accumulator.
I reckon it wouldn't even be that high,
6-1 maybe?
That's not that high.
6-1 is still a good shot though, like an odds shot. Like 6-1 when you're looking at 6-1, our next manager, Brendan Rodgers, is a favourite to be our next manager at 4-1.
Right.
And that's
He's
not
really unlikely.
And that's not likely at all.
Right. But still, it's not like it's a lot. I'm not saying it's likely. There's a lot. I've told you. There's a lot of ifs, but it really isn't that beyond the realms of possibility.
Look, no, I'm not saying it is. But I'm saying when you're looking for everything to go for you.
Yeah, that's what we're in it. Yeah, we're in a position where luck is. You have to have a lot of luck as well because you let Chelsea can fluke a win and that's it.
It's just a lot of ifs and buts. It's just a lot of ifs and buts.
It is, but that's what football's all about, ifs and buts, isn't it?
Yeah, but we shouldn't have to let it get to ifs and buts. We should just be able to concentrate on ourselves and have it in our own hands, but that's not the case this season.
Yeah, that's not the case. We have to rely on ifs and buts now.
Yeah, like always. We got Dark Sunji 21 with the super chat saying, if Leicester lose or draw against Newcastle, then top 4 is ours. Also, Burnley draw or win against West Ham will help us a lot. Liverpool will lose to Manchester United.
I don't think they will. I think Liverpool might actually get a win there. I'm worried about that. But in terms of Sim saying if Leicester lose or draw against Newcastle, then top 4 is ours. No, it's not.
Well, Bobspur TV says it's 12-1.
12-1, or he put it all in the QME, did he?
Well, there you go.
12-1.
So it's double what I thought it would be.
All right, 12-1. It's not the worst odds.
It's worse than 6-1, that's for sure.
It's still not the worst. It's not 100-1. It's not 1,000-1. What was I going to say? Top 4.
13-2.
What was I going to say? In terms of this Dark Sun 21 saying if Leicester lose or draw against Newcastle, then top 4 is ours. No, it's not. If we have to win, people forget this. It's up to us. It's up to us to take it. It's not up to others. Others might fall or not, but it's up to Tottenham to grab it with both hands and win their games. And that's what we got to do. Just win our games and then see what happens. And if we don't win our games, then it's all useless. And seeing as we're the early game on Saturday, we have a real opportunity to win that game, first game of the weekend, and put real pressure on all the teams above us. But will we do that? Well, it remains to be seen.
Earlier on in the season, we taught Leeds a lesson at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so let's go and do it again this season, man. Come on.
Oh, well, who's tonight? Tonight is West
Ham.
Well, Burnley, West Ham. So if Burnley could do us a big favour, that would be great.
I cannot believe we're at this stage of the season, 4 games to go, and we're fighting with West Ham to get into the top 4.
But actually, Leicester are the first game of the week, and they're playing on Friday.
Right.
But then it's us. Hopefully, Newcastle could do us a favour on that Friday night. But what was I going to say? West Ham, at least we're in a position now where West Ham need to win to get back above us. Like before, it was like West Ham, we were struggling to be above them, but now at least will this be the first time West Ham are below us for a while if we draw tonight? I can't remember.
I think there was one other case of it a couple of weeks back. I'm pretty sure we went above them when they had a game in hand.
No, exactly. Not a game in hand. I'm saying same games played will be above them.
Yeah, it's been ages. It's
been a long time, right? Yeah. So at least that's a positive if they don't win tonight. But would you reckon they'll win tonight against Burnley? Burnley been in great form.
They have been in great form. I mean, look, I don't want to predict a West Ham win, so I'm rooting Burnley all the way tonight. Come on.
I agree. And the relegation battle now is pretty much done with Fulham now 9 points behind, West Brom 11 points behind, and so one more win for Newcastle is mathematically done.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Well, yeah, because
Burnley, are Burnley safe?
Burnley all same as Newcastle. If Burnley win tonight, they're safe. They're done.
Well, that's a nice incentive for us, isn't it?
It's nice for Burnley.
Burnley,
us. We us. Come on, man. Come on, we're Burnley.
We're all
fans.
Burnley tonight, aren't we? Come on.
Burnley, come on. Yeah, because Fulham are on 27, right? So they're 9 points behind Burnley on 36 with 15 to go.
And this will be the first time Big Sam's relegated, right?
Yep. It's pretty much done for them. If they win every game, that's 12 points, so that'll only be 37. If they win every game, they're on 37. Newcastle in 17th, already on 36.
So who's going down? Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United?
They're going down. They can't. Mathematically, it would require Fulham to win every game and Newcastle and Burnley to lose every game.
Out of all those 3 teams, is there anyone you would take? I know Anderson, but he's at Lyon.
Anyone I'd take? Who?
Anguissa?
Anguissa he's like worse version with Ndombele. So I like him, but I don't know if I'd take him just yet. I don't know if he needs a lot of work to him, I think. There are a few players from Fulham, though, I'd consider. Robinson, the left back.
Would you consider Lookman?
No. I don't. I think we've got players now who are just as good.
Lookman or Bergwijn?
I think Lookman's been better this season, but I think if you put Bergwijn in Fulham and if he's playing every game, he could look as effective, I think. I think Robinson, the left back, I really like. There's Anderson, Areola potentially.
What about the other centre back for Fulham?
Adebayo. He's also been decent this season. Who's one I would also consider. I like Adebayo. I think he's a decent player. From West Brom, would I consider Diagne as a sub striker? Probably not. Although Vinicius. Yeah, Vinicius has been completely out in the cold by Mason. We haven't even chatted about him. Vinicius looks like he ain't going to be here next season, isn't it? So it doesn't look like he has a future at the moment. He keeps being left out. We're definitely not going to buy him. Definitely not for that money. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Apart from that, Matthias Pereira, would you want him? He's got quality, but is he one of those players who just thrived at a small team, being a big fish in a small club, and then once he gets to a team like Spurs, he might be just.
Well, you never know until he moves on, do you?
Yeah, I do. He has got a lot of quality though. He does. You can see that he's got a great left foot. But whether he's one who can step up and be a club like Tottenham remains to be seen. But apart from that, there's not much else I would take. Tete, he's decent as well. From Fulham, he's also pretty good.
Do you think Areola should be our number 1 goalkeeping choice?
No.
Who do you think should be?
I like that Mike Maignan from Lille.
Yeah.
I like the look of him, but apparently he's going to AC Milan.
Oh, really? Is that right?
That's what
Where's Donnarumma going?
Don't know.
Probably go Chelsea or something.
Yeah, Chelsea,
Man City.
Right. Although they're getting, although Mendy's been okay, hasn't he? So don't know whether they're going to get Donnarumma. But I like my Magnan, but he would definitely be on my list. Areola.
That's Mike Maignan going to AC Milan.
Don't know. That's the rumours.
Who's ahead in the French squad, Mike or Areola? Is it Mike?
I think it's Magnan at the moment. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you everyone for coming to watch with us today. It's been a nice, relaxing morning after show, winning 4-0 against Sheffield United last night. Gareth Bale hat-trick, rolling back the years. So we've got our player ratings coming with you very shortly, and then the 5 takeaways, and then obviously content coming with you all week, all day, every day. So thank everyone for coming on today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Welcome to our post-match press conference against Sheffield United. As always, please raise your hand. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. We'll start with Jim Conlon from RCB Sport Ireland. Jim.
Hi, Ryan. Ryan, is that reminded all the Tottenham Hotspur fans today what Gareth Bale is capable of? And did we see the Gareth Bale that we saw the first time that he was with Tottenham Hotspur? Is that his best performance this season in a Tottenham Hotspur jersey?
I thought he was outstanding. His goals were world class. No one should have doubted that ability that he has in the final third, because he's proved over a number of years that he's one of the best in the world in those moments. And very pleased with him tonight, because I thought his performance was excellent as well. He showed real commitment. He fought for the team, and the moments he produced were outstanding.
Okay, Ali Gold.
Congratulations, Ryan. Was this more of a Ryan Mason Tottenham Hotspur tonight? I mean, the team was pressing, there was energy, and the fullbacks bombing on as well.
I thought it was an outstanding performance. We've had a week with the group to work. We've been able to train them hard and try and instill some principles. Stuff like that takes a lot of time. But the most important thing for me tonight was the attitude. From minute 1 to 95, the desire to compete, to run, to fight. It was really, really good. And then you pair that up with the moments of brilliance we had as well, individually and also as a team. It was a real pleasing night.
Can I just ask you very quickly about Serge Aurier? I think that was only his second and third assists of the season, which you'd think would be unusual for him. Why do you think he hasn't quite had that impact in the final third until tonight?
I think the most important thing when you're a defender is to defend. That's the priority. He'd done that tonight, along with the rest of the defence. I think that's 11 clean sheets in the Premier League this season now. So that's good. That's positive. Serge is fasting as well. So I think it makes that performance even more impressive, because he hasn't been able to eat all day. And to put in a 90 minutes like that is outstanding.
Gary Cottrell.
Ryan, thank you, Tom. Another one about Gareth. He just said in his post-match interview that he's happy. He's certainly playing like he's happy. I know it's not your decision, but as somebody who loves the club, how much would you like to see him stay beyond the summer?
I think that's probably a conversation at the end of the season between Gareth, the club, and his parent club as well. Our main focus and our main priority is the next game. It sounds a bit of a cliche, but it's so true. I'm really happy that Gareth's happy. He should be, because he's got another match ball to add to the collection. And it was an excellent performance as well.
But if he can play like that and be happy playing, then it makes maybe persuading him to want to stay that much easier for whoever has to have that discussion with him, doesn't it?
I think the decision at the moment and the priority is making sure Gareth's ready to train. He's happy in training. We've got another big week of training because we've got a massive game next week, and hopefully we get a happy Gareth next weekend as well.
Thank you.
Jonathan Veal.
It wasn't crucial to the outcome of the game, but there was a controversial VAR decision sort of early in the second half. Do you think Sheffield United should have been down to 10 men?
Absolutely. It's a red card, no doubt whatsoever.
Do you understand why the referee wasn't even asked to sort of have a look at it on the side of the pitch?
No, I'm a bit confused. I'm shocked as well. First of all, I'm shocked the referee is sitting in the room. Having the opportunity to look at that video once should have been enough. But then also I'm even more shocked that he hasn't told the referee to go and have a look at it as well, because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that's a red card. What with some of the red cards we've seen in recent weeks as well, it makes it even more shocking.
And you're 5 points off top four now, 4 games in hand. Are you starting to believe that, you could overhaul Chelsea or Leicester?
Now, honestly, we're not thinking about that. We know that we've got 4 massive games, some real huge games. It's difficult to win games in the Premier League. We've seen that over the course of the season for many different teams. Tonight was important for us. It was a massive game. And this week is a massive week for us. Next weekend is a huge game as well. So that's our priority. That's what we're looking to. We'd be very silly as a group to start looking ahead, because next weekend is going to be a tough match and we need to go there fully prepared.
Okay, guys, that'll do. Thank you very much.